For decades, the UK has faced an unsettling and tragic crisis: the exploitation of vulnerable individuals by organized grooming gangs. These cases have exposed not only the darkest aspects of human behavior, but also shocking failures by institutions meant to protect us. This video seeks to uncover the layers of this issue: how systemic negligence, cultural sensitivities, and allegations of government inaction have allowed the tragedy to persist. Grooming gangs are organized groups or individuals who target vulnerable individuals, often through manipulation and coercion, to exploit them sexually. Victims are typically young girls from marginalized communities. Between 1997 and 2013, Rotherham alone saw over 1,400 cases of abuse. And it wasn't the only town to face such horrors. Communities across the UK have witnessed similar stories, sparking outrage and demands for accountability. Investigative reports, like the 2014 J Report, revealed systemic failures by the police, social workers, and local councils. Time and again, reports of abuse were ignored, minimized, or mishandled. Authorities cited various reasons for their inaction: fear of being labeled as racist, limited resources, or misunderstandings of cultural contexts. Regardless of the explanation, the result was the same: victims were left unheard. "No one listened to me," said one survivor. "I reported the abuse multiple times, but nothing was done until it was too late." Critics argue that the government's failure to act transcends negligence and enters the realm of complicity. Whistleblowers have claimed that political correctness and a fear of damaging community relations led authorities to avoid pursuing suspects aggressively. Some politicians have denied any deliberate inaction, attributing failures to poor coordination between agencies. However, others suggest darker motives: claims that authorities prioritized avoiding unrest over protecting victims. "The signs were there," one investigator remarked, "but no one wanted to touch the issue because it was too politically sensitive." Many grooming gang cases involve suspects from minority communities, particularly of South Asian origin. This has complicated the narrative, fueling debates about immigration, integration, and multiculturalism. While it is critical to understand cultural contexts, critics argue that the focus on political correctness has come at the expense of justice. This has polarized public opinion, with some viewing the government as reluctant to address hard truths. Let's delve into Rotherham, where systemic failures spanned years. Police and local authorities were repeatedly informed of the abuse, yet failed to act effectively. Meanwhile, victims were left to fend for themselves. These failures have left profound scars, not just on survivors, but on the nation's trust in its institutions. The UK government has introduced measures aimed at preventing further tragedies, such as stricter oversight of law enforcement and improved victim support services. But are these steps enough? Ultimately, lasting change requires not only institutional reforms, but also a societal commitment to protecting the vulnerable. The grooming gang scandals are more than a tale of individual crimes. They reflect a broader failure of accountability and compassion. The road to justice is long, but with continued vigilance and advocacy, we can ensure a safer future for all. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing it and joining the conversation about how we can demand accountability and reform.